Well, hello.
How are ya?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm back to my regular programming space.
Did you see that, Melissa? He's back home.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. I know Penny. I see Penny hanging out in the background for us. So welcome. Sister Brenda, Melissa. Thank you so much. Oh, I got somebody sneaking over here bringing me something to drink because I was having a cough attack. So there we go.
Hello, Melissa. Hello, Sandy. Let's see. Hi, Bree. I know you're listening. Debbie, Karen, Cordelia. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah. I saw Cordelia pop up at the beginning there. Welcome, Cordelia. Good to see you again. So cool card tonight. Really cool card tonight.
Very cool. Hey, Heather. A very cool card. We are kind of going 70s style. Flower power, nice bright colors.
Yeah.
And I think the bundle's really cool.
I do too. We're whipping out the glitter glaze. This one is the Motel Sunset. I'm doing some fussy cutting. It's one of those things. I hate two things. I hate sentiments and doing sentiments, and I hate fussy cutting, but I'll do it. You'll do it, right? But literally, I am taking these card panels and fussy cutting them apart like crazy. So they're fun. And then the new pack, the Flower Power pack, there's some cool papers in there to cut apart. So yeah.
There sure are. Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry?
No, I just said good bundle. Yeah, good bundle tonight.
Yeah, good bundle. And yeah, I did a lot of fussy cutting for this as well. So I
Yeah.
kind of prepped that in advance just because I knew that would take the longest amount of time.
Right.
And we're doing some extensive stenciling too. So yeah.
I'm excited. 15% off the bundle tonight. So that brings
Yeah.
everything to like $71.
Yeah.
So good bundle, good things to use across the board with the daisy chain stencil. We've got the lacy layers. I think dies are in there, which are one of my favorites that are usable across the board. So there's some things in there that I feel like are good standards to have in your stockpile, and then throw in all this groovy retro stuff in there for it. So
absolutely. Heather just let us know that a couple of people have asked how the stencil works, so we'll be able to show them.
we will.
Awesome.
I'm using mine separate. I didn't layer mine. I'm using mine separate. I think you layered them, didn't you?
I layered. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So then, because I'm using mine in separate pieces, but then they can see how it layers with yours.
Yeah, very easy. Very easy
cool.
to use. Yep. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you.
Christy, drive safe. Christy, just listen. Don't watch us too much. I do the same thing, but I have to listen versus watching on my phone. So she said she's driving.
Yeah. Christy, we're going to behave so that you don't laugh and swerve or anything. So you're in good hands. Hey, right. Shirley. All right. Do you want to go on down and check out the items?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I didn't preset this anyway. All right. So bundle, let's just pull our items in for the bundle to show you guys. So in your bundle tonight, this is the daisy chain stencil. This is a layering stencil. So you've actually got 4 different stencils with this one. I'm using them separate. Walter's going to layer them so you can kind of see how these layer, but really cool stencil. I'm using the Motel Sunset glitter glaze with mine. I think you did too, but I'm not stenciling and ink blending with any of mine tonight. So
okay.
Then one of my favorite sentiments, which fun fact we found out I think on our last live or live before, this is the Sharon's sentiments. Good standard set to have in your stash. You've got everything from happy birthday to sympathy to hello to what else? Just a note I'm using tonight. Dad, best wishes, smile. So a good standard haul on this one. And fun fact was this is Christopher's mom's sentiment set. So
yeah, her handwriting's amazing.
Yeah, right. Then we've got the really cool Flower Power card panels, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 panels. You can just make a full card out of these. We're obviously we're gonna deconstruct and tear these apart and make some cards out of them. And then the last couple things, we've got the Motel Sunset glitter glaze, amazing.
I love it.
Oh, I like orange to begin with. Orange isn't my favorite color, but I like orange. And this is like that rusty. Oh man, this is just such a. I love this one. Yeah. Aqua pigment orange, aqua pigment green on this one, and then another good stash to have: the Lacy Layers die set. Lace Layers die set. Just a good standard to have. So I like that. Walter, this time you and I kind of mixed some of our favorite things in here, but they're good standards to have in the stash. So I kind of like that.
Yep, absolutely. And if you're somebody who likes to do vintage type things, keep in mind that this Motel Sunset glitter glaze would make amazing rust on metal. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Yes. I made a card today that I put in our chat. It actually makes good shiny fire too.
I loved your card, and I loved the story behind it. That was hysterical.
If we have time, I'll bring it over at the end here just to tell it really quick. But yeah, okay. So I did a different stencil, threw this over the top to give it some shiny fire thing. And then, I won't talk about too much. I don't know if my neighbors watch, so he's getting that card here tonight.
There you go. Hi, T.
All right.
Awesome.
Should we get started?
Yeah. So just real quick, this is the
Oh, yeah,
card
yeah.
that I'll be making tonight. So I fussy cut out the panel. This is the original one I made for the demo. And I did the stenciling in the background, and then I used the borders around. And I decided to use the clouds for where to put my sentiment. So I had stamped "Miss You" on there. So I prepared in advance just the fussy cutting and the coloring, because there's a lot to stencil and put together. So this is what I'll be using tonight.
Love it. This is my card. I used this card panel for this one and deconstructed it into 3 pieces. And then I did the stencil in the background, like a kind of quilted kind of something. And then I did the circles in watercolor, ink blended around the other ones. And then I used the Motel glaze with the flowers in the background here. I guess I did do 2, but they got covered up, but I'll do them again with ink for the flowers. But I just did this kind of quilted thing. I used a gel pen to kind of do some swirlies on the lines, just to kind of blend them together because they overlapped a little weird on mine. But it came out just looking like a little quilt kind of something. So, and then the lacy layers on the 2 fussy cut from the same
Super
panel.
cute. I love it.
Yeah.
I saw you ask, and thank you, Penny. Thank you so much for putting the link up there. I was talking about the Motel Sunset Glitter Glaze. It's the glitter glaze that came out for this month, and it is really, let me open it up and show you. I mean, just look at all that sparkly orange goodness. And if you've never used glitter glaze from Brutus Monroe, it smells amazing. It just smells so good. So what I used it for tonight, T, is in the stenciling, I put it as the center of my flowers. So what you'll see is that it dries nicely, and lots of sparkle there in the center. But you can basically, like Shawn used it in a different way. So you'll see more use of it tonight, but it's great for even just like taking a palette knife and spreading it across to help make a design. Oh, the other place I used it is I had gone ahead and used the aqua pigments on my frame. And then I just took a paintbrush and did a thin layer of the glitter glaze around it. So it kind of gives it that little bit of a glitter look to it.
Oh, see, I didn't notice that when I saw our pre-pictures. I thought you cut the dye thing out twice, cut it in half, and pieced 2 different colors together. So you actually just did one and then used the pigments on it? Is that what you did?
I did one, and what I did was I used a coordinating. So I found a stacking rectangle die that is the same size as the inside of the lace panel, and I'm going to cut out the center so that it acts as a frame.
Goes right
over.
Okay. Yeah, it looked like you had just taken 2 and pieced them together. So that's easier actually, the way you did it. But
believe me, if there's something easy, I'm probably going to find the way to do it. Nice.
Hello, Susan. Welcome. Amanda. Oh, T. Hey, T. Welcome.
So for this layering stencil, I'm happy to show you how to, if you want to use it the traditional way of doing the stack dies. It is really easy. So what I'm going to do is I just have it lined up on my card panel. And you're going to start with the one that has the multiple squares. So there's 2 stencils with squares. There's one that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's one that has just 2. So I'm going to start with the one that has the 6 on there. I'm only going to be using 4 of them. And, since we're doing like this kind of a 70s theme, I didn't want to take away from like the oranges and the greens. So I decided to do my squares as white and tan. So I'm just using some antique linen distress ink. Just blend those squares here. And you can go as light or as dark as you'd like.
So you'll notice with mine, I'm actually not doing these in like a full, I did my 2 yellows, angled ones first, this way, and this way. And now I'm just patchworking it together to get more of a patchwork kind of design. So you'll see some of them aren't like the full square. It's kind of patched together, but I'll use that gel pen to tie it all together once I get there. So just if you're looking and going, this isn't a true layering effect with this die, or excuse me, with this stencil. I'm just now patching it all together.
T is telling you that you're not allowed to ignore somebody who's trying to chat with you. So it sounds like somebody may be in the chat trying to get your attention, maybe?
Okay, well, let me scroll back. I'm focused.
Yeah.
Let's see. Both cards are fabulous. Thank you, Cordelia. Love that groovy card. Motel Glaze was T's question. It is Motel Sunset. It is a glittered glaze, so it's not loose glitter. It's like glitter in a creamy, kind of clearish mixture, and then you can smear it on. And then it'll dry clear except for that glitter. I hope that's what she meant by I was ignoring her question, most likely. It is not embossing powder. I'll keep reading because she kept having questions, I see. Not embossing powder, no. It is a smear on kind of thing. So it's something you can get like down and dirty with tea. It's up your alley. Perfect. Two chatters, yes.
Oh, Sandy, you're funny. So once you get those squares done, the next step is really easy. You're just going to take the next part of the stencil, line it up to the side of your card, but make sure that all you do is, I'm going to pick this up a little closer because I realize that's a lighter color. Here are those 2 tan squares. Just line the squares up so that they're touching each other, and you can see through the stencil that this square will be touching there, this square will be touching there and there. So you're just going to put that next layer of the ink on. I'm going to mute for a second. I have a tickle from my allergies.
Walter, I just enjoy that you're being so neat and layering it so evenly like it's supposed to be. And here I am, just look at this. I'm just patching it all together.
But you know what? That's the beauty of the stencil. You can use it like the way that it was designed. You can use however you'd like.
Yeah, I'm just like one stencil. I'm moving it around. You're doing the layered effect, so I think that's cool. Let's grab a green.
Yeah,
We're gonna
kind
go
of that checkerboard.
grab. Use the green on my rest of it here.
And there we go, nice and easy. You have your stenciled background, at least the checkers. Then it's really easy because you can use either of the next 2 stencils because they're essentially like the same, but they're backwards. And so when you do it one way, you'll get your flowers in certain squares and you'll get your dots in the other. What I'm doing is I'm going to leave the ones with the dots alone for right now. I want to just get my flower stenciled on there first. And then I'll go in with the dots last since I'm using the glitter glaze. So for my flowers, I'm using Slippery When Wet from Simon Hurley and Guppy from Simon Hurley.
I need to get myself a couple of his ink pads on my next order and try them out. I don't have any of his stuff, but I love the colors that he's got and stuff, and I need to try those out.
I definitely hi Jim. I like his inks, yeah.
All right.
It was Candy that got me turned on to those. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So now I just switched my stencil. So now I've got the one with the flowers and the circles, and I'm just doing some random watercolor circles in the middle of some of these squares, and then I'll just do a couple flowers.
So for
not even masking it off, just holding it down.
Yeah, I haven't been with these stencils, they're so easy to hold on to that I haven't been like securing them down. I'm just holding them and stenciling.
Yep.
And again, you can make as you stencil these, you can make your flowers as light, as dark. You could go multicolored. I decided just to stick with the yellow and the orange, but you can make it your own, but very easy. So get these first flowers done, then I'll use the second stencil to get my orange ones done.
All right, and then on my last couple squares, I'm going to get out the glaze for the flowers.
Deglaze, boss, deglaze.
Yeah. Glitter, get out my glitter.
Brings back memories of childhood programs.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, the whole time I've been working with this flower power stuff, I seriously cannot get Austin Powers out of my head.
That's true.
Everything I was putting on here, I was like, yeah, baby, yeah.
True, baby.
Smoking a pancake. I just couldn't. This one and then this one, the Flower Power 6x6. I was like, this is like Austin Powers to the nth degree.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Hi, Laura.
Oh, Christy likes the inks too. Oh, welcome, Jim. I heard you say welcome, Jim.
Yeah, and thank you, Sandy, for pointing out that Brutus Monroe does sell them. I think they blend really nicely. I've been pretty happy with them.
All right, we're going to see if I can do this without smearing the rest. Gentle. Come on. Oh,
All right.
Not a smear.
So there they are with the flowers in there. Now I'm going to add in the flower centers. And for that, you can, use either of the stencils for the flowers because the circles are all the same. And I'm just going to take a palette knife and just get some of the glitter glaze on there. I am going to speed up the drying with a hair dryer. I've got to put it to use since I can't use it personally. So,
Yeah. You probably that thing's probably gonna have like a lifetime warranty.
No kidding. Actually, it's funny. I had a friend leave it here, and she was like, "Oh no, just keep it there." Okay, well, I'm not going to have any use for it, but sure.
Right.
But I do
Right.
use it for crafting.
I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna dry mine just a little bit so I can use my glitter pen or my gel pen on this, but I'll maybe save that part for last while this dries and I start my fussy cutting. All right, we'll set that aside. Okay, somebody is like literally outside my door, I think, weed eating, and then hopefully you can't hear it. The yard guy.
Very, very light. Doesn't really. You hear a little background noise, but it's nothing. It's nothing much.
Okay. So to do this panel, and I'm see if I can keep this in frame here. If I can zoom out, maybe. I'm cutting right up to the Stay Groovy, as close as I can possibly get it, so I keep as much rainbow as I can. And then I'll fussy cut out the rest of the Stay Groovy, and we'll fussy cut out the rainbow. And I left the flowers that overlap the rainbow. I left that I didn't cut those smooth. I'm going to fussy cut that so it's like an overlay or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, Sandy, you're too funny.
I just saw something. So you're just a solar product.
That's right. Got a big old solar panel up there.
Hey, you got something there because solar panels aren't cheap. So
very true. Very true. When you're applying the glaze through the stencil, I'm putting it on rather thick because I want a nice pronounced center to the flower. But if you wanted, like, you could definitely put it on thinner. It's just a matter of choice. But I like the look of that pronounced center. Kind of reminds me of a sunflower center.
Well, and I've been playing with it too, where I've done it where, like, you know how you do like stuff for mixed media and then you kind of tap on it to get like little peaks out of it and stuff. So you can do that. It'll kind of thicken up the glitter part of it. Like you have like where it kind of centers, it'll just thicken that area up too. So it'll give you like darker and lighter spots too, I've noticed.
But it really, I mean, when this dries, it is, I mean, I think it's gorgeous as is, but when it dries, it's really, really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Well, welcome, Jay Thomas.
Hey, Jay.
Is it the Men's of Monroe? Yes, I guess it could be. Oh, wait, you're live. Yes.
Oh, Melissa, isn't that the truth? That's you, Walter, laying it on thick. Yeah. Yep. There you go. She knows me.
Well, and we were chatting before, and now that I've watched the Friends one, now I can relate. I understand. You guys were cracking me up.
And before I put the dryer to this, I'm just going to come in, and if there's like anywhere where there's like kind of a little peak, I'm just going to even it out a bit. That's just my preference. Oh, I have one that's not so centered, but that's okay. You know what? Not everything in nature is perfect either.
I got a couple goobly gobs on mine, but I know it's going to get covered by my sentiment. So
see if I can move it over a little bit, though. Let's see. Move it over just a little. I'm sure it'll be fine. Can you tell I watched a lot of Bob Ross as a kid? Oh, happy mistakes. We'll just move it over.
So we were at a restaurant this past week near the St. Paul Airport. And it's kind of a fancy, retro-ish, very vintage airline theme. and they had the entire time Bob Ross playing on all the TVs.
I love it.
And so I had asked, it was cracking me up and I loved it. And I was like, so is this a thing or is this just what's on today? She goes, oh, no. It's Bob Ross every day in here. Okay. I'm like, that is awesome.
I love it. I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to dry this glitter glaze.
Perfect. You know what I realized we didn't do, and I can, once I get my groovy cut out here, I'll grab it, is just kind of show you guys the rest of this paper pad. There is so many options with these paper pads that I've been fussy cutting them like crazy. You can just cut sections of these out, not fussy cut and use cards and deconstruct them, use the full panels. There's just, the designs of these are so cool. And I will tell you, fussy cutting them is easy. Like this here, the sentiment is so easy with smooth edges to cut out that it's not too complicated, to be honest. So let me grab that paper pad just to show you. So you saw the one I was using. This is the one Walter is using. We've got the flower power, and I've got some examples to show you at the end with the other cards that I did for these. And then the good vibes only, and then we're back to the repeat. So good, fun. They're not double-sided, so really fun options with these. All right, I gotta look at my card and see what I got next here. So I did that, I did that. Is drying. Let's just get out my lacy die set here and cut one of those out. Well, hello, Ellen. Walter, can you speak to you happy dude in the upper right? I missed something. I guess I missed it way back here.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Jay.
Yeah, I missed that one. I know, Jay, fussy cutting. I know, but I'm telling you, I've been fussy cutting a lot. It's not my favorite. Sentiments and fussy cutting, not my jam. But I've been really fussy cutting a lot of this stuff up.
Oh, you're too kind, Sandy.
Oh, Bob Ross and the relaxing voices. Oh, yeah. How could we make that happen? Like, would we have to do the polar opposite, but the voices because of the hair? I mean, he's got the hair thing, right? Like,
oh yeah. Oh,
we could get you a wig.
Were you talking about this? So this is actually the card I'm making tonight. And what was resting on top there is I had pre-done the fussy cut piece that I needed and colored in the flower petals. So that might be what you were seeing. So yes, this is what I'm in the midst of making. I'm thinking that might be what you were speaking of. And before I go back to my dryer, hello, Miss Ellen. Nice to see you. And hello, Laura.
I know, nobody's liking my fussy cutting. I know, you don't have to, though. You don't have to. Jay, yes, we have every Wednesday, there's a bundle with the products we use. So the link should be in the description, I believe. If not, I think Penny can throw that up for us. But this one is 15% off, so $71 for this bundle this week. I know we've been selling them really well. And this one, we've got some good staples with these lace layer dies. Good to have in your stash. The watercolors, good to have in your stash. And right now, I think both Walter's and I favorite, this Motel Glaze is awesome to have in your stash. And I'll show you the fire card here at the end of what I did for a little neighbor guy, and I'll explain that story towards the end. I had everybody cracking up in our chat today on the my little fire story. All right.
So that's my finished panel. Now, you might look at the card that I had finished and say, oh, well, you're covering a lot of that up. And I do, but you know what? I like to be consistent and have the whole panel made. So I figured if I'm doing just the sides, may as well do that middle too.
So I think I cut the second to smallest lace layer die out of the phone book cardstock, one of my new favorites. And then I'm using this Sharon Sentiment, just a note in the corner. So I'm using this whole piece as my sentiment panel.
Hey, Candy. So I had cut out the lace die, and I want to make it a frame. And I knew that the middle of this wouldn't be big enough for the stenciling. So I went ahead and just cut out the center with a stacking rectangle die. So that's all I'm going to do before I go ahead and color in the lace frame.
I don't know why, but this has given me like a it's right at the tip of my tongue, like a placemat business card, something kind of vintage something here, just with this little layout. Now that I'm looking at it.
Oh.
Doesn't it? Or like a little doily. It's got like a little doily with a little like note on it or something. Okay, not always, but I would say for me it's a 50-50 sometimes. If I color these edges just a little bit to mask the white. And I'm going to do that on this one because in spots the fussy cutting is not grand. And so that'll just help maybe blend that fussy cutting in just a little bit. And then I'm going to just lightly color in black those little pieces so I don't have to worry about fussy cutting those out with a little razor or something. I would agree with you, Jay. We are waiting for Mr. Leader of the pack here to join us one of these evenings, and he's popped in on us a couple times. We're waiting for him just to I don't know about you. I'm waiting for him just to pop in on us and surprise and go, all right, guys, what are we making? And then craft with us.
That would be awesome. He's a pretty busy guy, though.
Yeah. You got that right. So I just, because it's an alcohol marker and this paper's kind of thin, it's not like a really thick cardstock, it soaks up the marker pretty easy. So I'm really going pretty light around the edges. Almost just kind of tapping it on because it grabs the ink pretty easy.
And I'm just doing my two-toned frame right now. I just grab a paintbrush, dip right into the aqua pigment, and start brushing it on.
The bundle. Oh, she put the bundle up. Oh, Christopher is in here. I didn't even see him pop in, and he's got the bundle up as well. Engraved napkin. Yeah, actually, yeah. There's just something. I don't know what it's screaming something at me. Congrats, Ellen. What did I miss? What happened to Ellen? Congrats, Ellen.
I don't know. What?
I missed that. I don't see it. It's not popping up on our chat, but it's probably popping up on the Facebook.
She just finished and submitted her 100th card for Craft Roulette. Good for you, Ellen.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
I started doing that. I haven't been able to keep up. Oh, no. Penny is playing part of Christopher. Oh, gotcha. The woman of many faces. Mm-hmm. And the talented woman of our website
I
and
know. What
everything
would we
else.
do without Penny?
No kidding.
She certainly helps us out every week. We appreciate our Penny.
So Walter, what should we? Okay, if we have Christopher on here, what would we do? Would we give him like a what would we do? Would we have him challenge us? We challenge him. We come up with a special Christopher card.
Oh, what?
Like now my brains are going. Like if what we would do with him on.
You know what? I think it would be fun if we challenged him. Yeah.
Huh?
I think
We come up with the pre-bundle, we don't share it, and then surprise him. Here's what you need to make something out of this.
That would be awesome.
Would that be a challenge for him? He seems like when you watch him in the lives, he comes up with stuff just so easily, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, let's make another card. We got time, let's do another one. Like he's just I can do that sometimes, but then I like this stuff. I feel more better prepared.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, mine. I'm going to dry this just a tiny bit before I finish this portion of it.
Well, I have to say it would be fun if he challenged us.
Oh, give him a chopped basket. Oh, yes. Okay, that I like. Totally like that. Or challenge him to a craft off. Okay, yeah. I love it. Do a poll that could choose the winner.
Good ideas, friends. We'll have to get on this idea with him.
Could we do a chopped get down to like 2 rounds and then get down to a winner?
You know what could happen? Here's how this could play out. What if Candy or Heather like arranged a box that they give to you, me, and Christopher? None of us see it beforehand. And we all just start crafting with the same thing and see what we come up with.
Yeah, totally.
That could be fun.
Okay, so what I did, if you can tell, this was not like perfect, cute, and straight and even. Like this was just a mismatch. But I'm taking my gel pen now, and not like in any. It's not perfect. I'm just making swirls and squiggles around each square to give this a little bit of a patchwork kind of feel.
Nice.
And then I'll just circle around the circles because you can see they weren't perfect, and just do kind of a random little circle around those.
And I figured that while this is still wet from the aqua pigment, I will go ahead and get my little bit of the glitter glaze onto the frame as well, so then I can dry that, and that will be all set.
Anybody watching this evening in the chat, or is anybody going to be at Spring Fling next weekend on site in person or virtual? I am super excited. I will be there in person, so I cannot wait to travel.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Melissa, Christy and I said the same thing at the same time, and totally, Walter, HC can come up with the boxes. That would be awesome. Yep, I think we got something. Trimming down just some little bits of white that are still showing. Like so. All right, and I'll cut out my last lacy layer when that finishes drying. I think it was this piece. So if you go on the lacy layers, the full big size is your full panel size. Did I cut that too small? Ooh, it's just a little too small. Get out this one. Jamie, virtual, awesome. I will see you on screen, Jamie. I'm super excited. This spring fling is going to be it's a virtual class. You can I think there's virtual options left. I'm not sure. Penny, I'm not sure. It's virtual left, and it's also in person, which will be at Brutus Monroe. And it'll be Gina K and Brutus Monroe, I believe, teaching this one. Well, hey, Frederick, welcome, my friend. I think Frederick, Walter, found you and I on one of our first lives or something, unless you were friends with them before.
Yeah, I was friends with Frederick on Facebook, but yeah, he
gotcha.
found us on our first live. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only virtual left for spring fling and create your own ending. Perfect.
Yeah, I will be doing spring fling virtually. Unfortunately,
nice.
I'm actually teaching a class next Saturday, so I'm going to miss part of it.
Okay. I think you did. I think you did mention that to me.
Yeah.
Early bird pricing on CYOE per HC.
Hi, Kate. I didn't see you come in.
So a picker tool is essential, especially when you got intricate little cuts like this. Sometimes they don't all pop, so a little picker will help. Okay, I will tell my little story here before I get this card out. So we hired, I'm a little late sending the card, and I'll explain why. So last summer, we hired our neighbor boy, I think he's 16 at the time, 15 or 16, to clean out the area around our house in the trees and bushes and stuff, because there was just a lot of down trees, down pieces of wood and stuff we wanted cleaned up. And so he's like, yeah, for sure. We're like, we'll pay you, whatever. We'll pay you good. We'll pay you well. And so he did an amazing job cleaning this up. And they decided, him and his dad thought they would burn the piles. So we said, well, you got to move them out from where they're at, because you're going to burn the forest down. So they move it to the edge, it was a pretty cleared spot. So it was a very legitimate spot to move this stuff. And they sat and watched it. The fire burned it down. Tiny little pile left. They thought it was all out. Go in the house, and the wind had picked up tremendously, and it's restarted the fire. And a little trace of it, like you know how you see stuff on TV where the fire starts, and then you get this little trail of fire that went towards the woods, and then the woods caught on fire. By the time I'm upstairs at the time working on my computer, my partner's not home. He's going across town that he bought something on Facebook Market. There's a knock at the door, and it's our construction people pointing at the woods. I look, and it is a burning
Ugh.
inferno. Like, I have never panicked so much in my life. All I could see were the flames starting to burst, and then it was like ring of fire going towards the inside of the bushes, towards all the
Oh.
houses. So I run to the neighbor house. I'm like, open the door, start screaming, fire, 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 call the fire department. We're trying to put this out, waiting for the fire department with a hose that is just barely trickling water because the nozzle didn't work on it. And fire department shows up. They can't. The hose doesn't reach the back of the yard. So he gets out rakes and starts raking this perimeter. And I'm like, this, what are you doing? This isn't going to go out. Like, this isn't going to go out. So I yell at the kid to go into the garage, grab every rake. I start following the suit of the firefighters while they're raking a perimeter to stop it from spreading, which it worked. So I shouldn't like judge their professional, judgment of putting out a fire. And this kid felt so bad. And we're like, look, it's not like it things happen, right? We're just lucky we didn't lose any houses. We're lucky we didn't tear this, burn this whole like development down for all the trees. So we felt really bad, and we were waiting for him to give us a price because we're like, how much do you want? And never did. So we just decided to pay him. And we asked the mom, we want to make this funny card. Are you okay with that, for one? And will he find it funny? And then she's like, I find it funny. So she does feel bad. And so I made a card about fire. Let me grab it here for a second. I'm just cracking up thinking about it. Okay, so this is before I reveal this card. Yes, he says, you do not ever leave a fire unattended, whether you think it is out or not. And if anything, douse it with water. Anyway, all this is Brutus Monroe products. And then when I found the sentiments out of the Christopher Ism set, I'm like, this can't get any more like spot on. So this is the card. I made this out of my Cricut. So the fire's out of my Cricut. This is the sunset stencil with the motel glaze smeared all over it. And then the holy smokes whoopsies for the Christopher Isms. I hope they find it as funny as I do, because I find it funny, and we're not mad at all over the fire at all. Like, now I'm just trying to make them feel better and like make a funny out of it. But I thought it was kind of funny.
I think it's hysterical.
And I'm like, look at that motel glaze. Or no, motel sunset. Yeah.
It definitely adds a lot, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm still laughing. I've been laughing all day. Every time I look at it.
Too funny. Hey, Misty. And hello, Isis. I'm sorry. I was drying something when you came in. I didn't have a chance to say hello, my friend.
Ruth? I didn't see Ruth pop in. Hi, Ruth.
Yeah. Well, Shawn, we've definitely been pretty busy, so
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Yeah, me too.
My rainbows. Can't put this on. Where's my rainbows? Put those on. All right, I do believe I cut this one down, but let's see if I can put that full thing on. I'm going to do the full one, I think, tonight. Actually, we're going to go there. Yeah. I cut this one down the first time I made this card, but I think I'm going to leave the full on it this time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to cover up my motel sunset. I'm going to throw this over on the side.
I know. I don't like covering up the motel sunset, but well.
Yeah, because I added kind of a rando one over here, and I don't want to cover it up. So so this was my original design. I'm gonna just switch this up a tiny bit and rotate that a little, just to reveal that. I feel like we are allowed to change it slightly as we go. That is
absolutely
the beauty of it.
Yeah. I've actually, for the past several weeks, done things a little bit different than the initial one I've made. Still using the same product, but just a little bit different on the design.
Whatever makes it work, right? Perfect. All right. Let's throw my sentiment down. I like that frame. Now, did you add a little? How did you get it variegated on the? Did you just add it darker in spots, or did you add a little bit heavier orange on it?
Yeah, so it's a little bit darker in some spots than others. I didn't want it to be completely uniform. So yeah, I just went a little bit heavier with the aqua pigment in some areas, and
Yeah.
then yeah, I went ahead and put a little bit. It's hard to see the glitter glaze on there, but there is some glitter glaze on the frame as well. So.
Oh, I did miss that, Melissa. So, oh yay! So I get to meet Christy in person. Yay! Yay!
Oh,
Yay!
jeez. Watch
You
out,
know.
trouble. Christy and I just spent some time together down the Cape at Crop on the Cape about a month ago, and
Oh
we had a
yeah,
great time.
that's right.
You will enjoy Christy.
That is right.
She is a lot of fun. You've used it twice already, Ellen. Really? Yeah. I love it. I think it's great.
All right. There's mine for the evening. This was my original sample, so pretty darn close. Rainbow's slightly different. And I added one more over here. Oh wait, I didn't finish my circles actually. Need this one over here. So just rando traces on that. Get this one just a little bit better. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Susan. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely does show up really well against the white cardstock.
Yeah, I like that, using it on that frame like that. Ruth has been lurking. That's okay. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I know, Sandy. Okay, so Sandy is saying, it's the way I said it. It was how I started the chat today. I can't remember how, are you ever in the need of when somebody starts the Forest on Fire card? Well, I got the perfect card with all Brutus Monroe or something, however I said
it. Yeah, I mean, I was howling as I read that. Very funny.
All right, so here's my card. While you're finishing up, I'll show these other 3 samples that I did. I wanted just to show these other cards in different ways that you can use this pack of cards. So obviously, Walter's using one card. I'm using the Stay Groovy card. And then here are a couple more samples. So this is the Good Vibes card. And let me just get the original cards out so you can kind of see like how much cutting I did off of this. So here's the Good Vibes card. And then you can just see I cut basically the white space out and cut it like I did my rainbows. I kept the ones that were overhanging on there. All I did was I took a piece of white cardstock. I just smeared my orange ink around the edges, and then I smeared Motel Glaze over it. And then I put it on phone book paper, but I ink blended the phone book green. So I got some green and yellow around that edge to match. And then I ink blended this with some, I think, peacock feathers. So that's one card using this, just cutting out the panel and then fussy cut around those little pieces. Walter used this card. So that's the Good Vibe. So now the next one is the Flower Power card. This one, I love how this one turned out. So here's the Flower Power. This one, I fussy cut out all the white off, all the way around the edge, all the flowers around the words, fussy cut all that out. Then what I did, let me grab a ruler, a straight edge or something. I'll just grab this. I went from underneath the flower to above the power and lined up my trimmer like so, and then just cut that in half after I fussy cut it. And then for the background, I took let me grab it so I get the name right on it. Teal Feathers Shimmer Mist on white cardstock, and I just saturated it so it had full color. and it's got lots of shimmer on that because it's a shimmer powder. I have this in plastic, so I didn't spill anything on it. So then I took the Motel Sunset through, I think it was High Tide. Oh yeah, through the High Tide stencil, smeared that underneath, and then just laid these on top in the corners. Put it on simple black cardstock so that all that color pops.
Awesome.
And then the last one I did was the, let's find it, Stay Groovy. Oh, I don't have any because I used both of my Stay Groovy. So it's the one I used tonight, card panel. And all I did for this one is I fussy cut around the edge. And then, call me insane, I took a razor blade, fussy cut the insides out. And then I took the, what did I lay on the back side of this? I ink blended this, I believe, with just some blue. Then I smeared the Huckleberry Swirl confections all over this, let it dry. And then I just took rainbow strips of paper intermixed with glitter paper and rainbow striped that back side. So a couple more options on how you can just deconstruct these and use these for full panels or mix it up with all this mixed media kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then that one was tonight with what Walter's got going on.
Awesome. Those are great.
Oh, Valencia, how long did it take for the blue background? The shimmer mist dry really quick, actually. I sprayed it so it was completely covered with no white showing. But as soon as you hit a little drier to this, I mean, you can literally see it start drying. It dries very like less than 30 seconds. Oh, can I bring them closer to the camera? Oh yeah. Actually, we can do the camera closer to them even. So there's that one.
I love that. That's great.
That. And then that one. I love this one.
Yeah.
That Huckleberry Swirl with that chunky glitter in it. It is like groovy all over again. And then this one was tonight's. So, yeah.
So fun.
Cool.
So fun.
Yeah, Sandy, I splurged on this class. I'll be very honest, and this is like the first class I've ever gone to, so I'm super excited to do it in person, and especially with Brutus Monroe and Gina Kay. Like, oh my gosh, like heaven. Yeah. Oh, you're done.
Yeah,
Yay.
I'm done. So here's my finished card, and so similar to Shawn, I fussy cut this out of the card panel. Also similar to Shawn, I used my X-Acto knife and trimmed out the inside. So that you could see the card panel through there. And really easy. I hope that the illustration of that stencil was helpful. It's really easy to use. I mean, if you're ever like working on it and you have questions, don't hesitate. Like ping me with a question. I'm happy to get back to you.
Yeah, for sure. Especially product. Like, I mean, like T was like, what's that Motel Sunset? Like, is it texture paste? Is it like, even the creative confections are different. They come very creamy and they dry clear and they're very chunky glitter. Like, yeah, if you have questions, ping Walter, ping any of us. We'd love to answer them because they're really fun products to work with, especially when you start doing like the glitter stuff and it just is really fun to start mixing it, you know?
Absolutely. Agreed. Oh, thanks everyone.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. All right, should we go back up and wrap up?
Get back up to the top and yeah.
I don't know about you. This is my favorite Wednesday so far, because these were really fun, especially throwing this much glitter and glam and grooviness to them. This was by far my favorite Wednesday, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. These were a lot of fun to use. So yeah, definitely had a great time with it. And next week we're kind of keeping up with a similar type of theme. but using some different products. And I think it's going to be another fun night.
Yeah, we're using some paper.
Yep.
We are using some sort of grooviness out of all this groovy package of stuff.
Yep.
So mixing that up. So, and we've already done ours. So we've got both of us have some really cool cards for you guys next week. I can't wait. Don't forget about the package. So this one's 15% off. You've got some good staples in this one. I think it was like $71, I think, or something.
Or 34, something like that. Yep.
Something. Yeah. Yep. So a good deal, because the dies alone are a good, eat up a lot of that price. So just to have a good die set like this for framing and things. And honestly, like, it doesn't cut out the center, but you can cut out the center of these and make all kinds of stuff with these. So
that's what I did tonight. If you have stacking rectangles, just go ahead and you can cut out the center if you want to make a frame.
Yeah.
Easy enough to do. And honestly, but as you were saying, Shawn, between the dies and the stencil, this bundle is like, you'll be using both. I mean, that stencil, I already know it's like going to be one of my favorites for go-to for backgrounds.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah, because that daisy chain just the daisy chain alone for a background, Isis, you're right, Isis, like, there's no waste. Nothing should go in the trash with these. If you cut that center out, use that center for something else. Like, these are like a no waste kind of
Absolutely.
Thing.
I have mine to the side.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. Totally. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for showing up on a Wednesday with us again. We'll be back next week with more grooviness for you. We're working ahead a couple weeks, so we've got a couple weeks prepped and ready, and we've got some cool stuff coming.
So thanks a lot, and look forward to hopefully seeing you back next week.
All right.